Somewhere between the day you just lived and the sleep waiting to take you, there is a frequency. You won't find it on any dial. It doesn't broadcast on a schedule. It comes when the hour is late and the lights are low, and you are ready to go somewhere without leaving where you are. This is the midnight frequency. What follows are radio dramas, some set in the smoky, rain-soaked world of the old golden age, where private detectives walked dark streets and every shadow had a secret. Some take place closer to now, some venture further out, into times and places that haven't happened yet. All of them are original stories, written in the spirit of the programs that once kept the whole country listening in the dark. From this moment forward, there are no interruptions, no commercials, nothing to pull you back. If you found something here worth returning to, we'd be grateful for your support. The details are in the show notes, but that's for later. Right now, there is only the story. Get comfortable. Let it come.
Dana Reyes had exactly 30 seconds of time travel in her, and she had already spent 11 of them. That was the cruelty of the implant. Everyone imagined time travel as doors and machines and swirling portals. In reality, it was a lattice of exotic matter woven through the spine, charged once at the factory, never rechargeable. 30 seconds of reversal, total, over an entire lifetime. You could spend it in one jump or 100 tiny ones. Most carriers died with 29 seconds still banked, too afraid to burn a single moment. Dana had spent 11 seconds over 6 years of fieldwork, half a second here, 2 seconds there. Undoing a misstep on a rooftop. Unsaying a sentence that would have blown her cover. She kept a running count in her head the way other people counted heartbeats. 19 seconds left. And tonight, she was going to need all of them. The Volkov Tower gleamed above the harbor like a blade stood on end, 60 floors of glass and money. Somewhere on the 58th floor, in a vault cooled to 4 degrees, sat a drive containing the only complete schematic of the implant lattice. If Volkov's engineers cracked it, 30-second soldiers would become 30-minute soldiers, then 30-hour soldiers, and the world would belong to whoever owned the patent on regret. Dana rode the service elevator with her heart doing a steady, useful drum. Floor 40, 45, 50. The doors opened on 52, and a guard was standing right there, coffee in hand, eyes going wide. She burned 1 second. The world hiccuped. The doors were closing again, the guard still turned away, coffee not yet lifted. Dana pressed herself flat against the elevator wall, out of the sight line, and this time when the doors opened, the guard saw an empty car and shrugged and let it pass. 18. She climbed the last 6 floors through the maintenance shaft, forearms screaming, and told herself the burn in her muscles was just her body keeping score. At the top, she slid out into a corridor of white stone and soft light. The vault door stood at the end like a monolith. Her earpiece crackled.
You have 4 minutes until the patrol loops back. Clock is running.
Every clock is always running. That is the whole problem with clocks.
The vault lock was biometric, keyed to Volkov's chief engineer. Dana pressed a cloned print to the reader and held her breath. The light blinked amber, amber, then red, and a soft chime began somewhere in the walls, polite as a dinner bell and twice as deadly. She burned 3 seconds. The world rewound. The chime unsang itself. Her hand hovered over the reader again, and this time she noticed what she had missed before, the faint smear of powder on the glass, a trap layer designed to distort the print. She wiped it clean with her sleeve, pressed again, and the light went green. 15. The vault exhaled cold air. Inside, on a pedestal of brushed steel, sat the drive, small as a matchbook, heavy as a future. Dana lifted it and felt the whole night narrow to a point. Then the lights came up hard and white, and a voice filled the room.
I wondered which one of you they would send.
Anton Volkov stepped out from behind the server racks. He was younger than his photographs, and that was the first bad sign, because the photographs were only 2 years old. The second bad sign was the way he moved, a little too smooth, like footage with the stutter edited out.
You have an implant.
Better. I have 4, harvested, installed in series. Do you know what that feels like? 4 spines worth of seconds humming under your skin. I have nearly 2 minutes banked, Miss Reyes. You are carrying, what, 20 seconds? 15? You brought a water pistol to a flood.
He drew an actual pistol then, matte black and unhurried, and fired. Dana burned 2 seconds. The world snapped back. Volkov was still raising the gun, mouth still forming the word flood, and she was already diving left behind the pedestal as the shot cracked through the space her chest had occupied in a future that no longer existed. 13. But here was the thing about fighting another traveler. The thing they drilled into you until you dreamed it. He felt that. When she rewound, he came back with her, memories intact. Both of them remembered the timeline she had erased. She could not surprise him with a rewind. She could only trade seconds against his seconds, and he had a war chest and she had pocket change.
Come out. Let us not be wasteful.
Dana ran for the vault door. He burned a rewind of his own, and reality lurched, and suddenly he was standing in the doorway ahead of her, having simply walked there 10 seconds ago in the redone version of events, smiling at her shock.
2 minutes. You cannot outspend me.
Then I will outspend myself, Dana thought, and did the thing they teach you never to do. She sprinted straight at him. He fired. She burned 1 second, jinked right instead of left. 12. He corrected, fired again. She burned 1 more, dropped low. 11. Each rewind was a heartbeat long, barely a flicker, the world stuttering like a scratched record, and with every stutter she was half a step closer, and with every stutter he had to rewind too, matching her, burning his own reserve just to keep his aim honest. 10. 9. The room strobed with undone moments. Gunshots rang out and were unwritten. She died twice and undied twice and kept running through the ghosts of her own endings. 8 seconds left when she hit him. They went down together onto the cold floor, the pistol skittering away into the dark under the racks. Volkov was strong, but he fought like a man who had never once had to live with a mistake, sloppy and furious, throwing everything, rewinding whenever a strike missed. Dana fought like a woman who had spent 6 years rationing regret. Every move she made once, and meant. He got a hand on her throat. She let him. She let him because his other hand was braced on the floor, and her free hand was sliding the drive into the armored pocket over her heart, and her knee was coming up with everything the maintenance shaft had left in her legs. Volkov wheezed and rewound 5 seconds. The world lurched back. His hand was reaching for her throat again, but Dana remembered, and this time she caught his wrist and rolled, and his own momentum carried him over her hip and into the pedestal with a sound like a bell being murdered. He lay there gasping, then he started to laugh.
22 seconds. I still have 22 seconds, and the patrol is 30 seconds out, and you are on the 58th floor of my building. Run the math, Miss Reyes. There is no version of the next minute where you leave this tower.
Dana stood over him, chest heaving, 7 seconds humming in her spine.
You are right. So I will leave this tower in the last minute instead.
What?
You have been thinking about time travel as a weapon. It is not a weapon, it is a budget. And the first rule of any budget is that you spend it before the audit.
She looked at the floor to ceiling glass, at the harbor lights beyond, at the 60-story drop.
The trick is committing to the fall before you know the rope will hold.
She fired the anchor, kicked the emergency release on the window panel, and stepped out into the night. The wind hit her like a wall. The line snapped taut, then shrieked. Then, 40 floors down, the anchor sheared loose exactly the way the schematics said it might, and Dana Reyes was in free fall over the harbor with the city spinning around her. She waited. This was the part that took everything: the waiting, the falling, the trusting. 40 floors, 30. She watched the water rush up and counted, because the implant did not just rewind time. That was the secret nobody outside the program knew. For the duration of a rewind, it also rewound position, momentum, state, 20 floors, 10. The harbor opened its black mouth. At 50 feet, she burned 6 seconds. The world reversed. She flew upward, backward, decelerating along her own path, the fall unspooling in reverse. And when the rewind ended, she was hanging in midair at the exact altitude of the harbor ferry's upper deck as it passed beneath the tower, moving at almost her speed, almost her direction. Almost was enough. She dropped 12 feet onto the canvas awning, tore through it, hit a stack of life vests, and lay there staring up at the tower while every rib she owned filed a formal complaint. Her earpiece crackled.
Dana. Dana, talk to me. The whole tower just lit up. What is your status?
Dana pulled the drive from her pocket and held it up against the receding lights of the Volkov Tower. 60 floors of glass and money, and one very rich man who was learning, right now, that all the banked time in the world cannot buy back a thing that is already gone.
Status. 1 second left. Saving it for something good?
The ferry churned on across the dark water, carrying her into the only timeline that mattered, the one that keeps going forward.
This has been the Midnight Frequency. The studio goes dark now. Sleep well.